Hello, everybody. We're here. We did it. The draft was insane. I don't know what happened. Sometimes I knew what happened. I don't know. Arnaldo,
Yo,
what happened this weekend? What did we witness,
I,
bro?
I don't know. I think a lot of it kind of went where you thought it would go, but then a lot of curveballs also
Yeah,
were thrown out.
guys, if you watched the draft, you were probably just as confused as we were with some of the picks. Detroit, your first pick.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about something that I know you're pretty excited about. Lamar Jackson
Yes.
signed a contract.
Very,
Lamar, good job, man.
very.
You did it. You got your money and
Mm.
you made a lot of fantasy team owners very happy. Yeah, that one being one. Me being another, especially because I do plan on moving up to Virginia next year, and I would definitely take a trip out to Baltimore and catch a game. So,
I know that'd be pretty fun guy to go see live.
yeah, absolutely.
But
So,
yeah, no, super happy he got his extension. I think that kind of solidifies a lot of offensive, or not offensive, but dynasty and just fantasy football questions. You kind of wondered like Mark Andrews,
yeah,
like Lamar leaves. Is he going to continue to be as productive? Odell signed over there, so you wonder is it going to be Tyler Huntley throwing to him all year? But nah, you got Lamar for 5 years. You got the was it on annual average highest paid player in
highest paid.
NFL history.
Yeah,
And yeah, good for him. I think, could have probably done with less heartache throughout the process, but
yeah, and I
you
like that he
give
gave his
me a
mom some
couple.
money too. Almost
Yeah,
8 million. I want to congratulate both of them.
yeah,
Mom's there to keep track and help him out, so she deserved that cut. That's for sure.
yeah. Yeah, $200+ million can help soothe a lot of wounds
Oh yeah,
through
I'll
the
dry my
through
tears
the
with those.
process.
And then
Not a whole lot you couldn't do to me and then make up for it with $200 million. It's
facts, man, facts. I'll give you. You can have my left arm for 200 million, but I need a cool one. I need like Winter Soldier type. I still need to
you
be able
got
to use it.
you got 200 million. You can have whatever kind of arm you want.
I'll be talking to Elon, and yeah, we'll make that happen. I mean, look, he got it done right before the draft, so that would have been interesting. If they didn't,
I,
would they maybe have looked at a later round quarterback just to kind of stash, just in case? I mean,
never know. Because they could have got Hendon Hooker themselves.
yeah.
Never know.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Bryce Young, let's start, man. Bryce Young, number one overall. Congratulations to him. Going to Carolina.
I'm torn.
You're torn. Okay, talk
You
to
know,
me,
you know,
man.
you know, you know, I love Bryce Young,
Yes, yes.
and I kind of convinced myself. Well, the smoke screens kind of convinced me that he wouldn't go number one overall, and
Oh,
so I was very happy for him potentially to go to the Texans. You already
yes.
know I was already prepared to be, a Texans fan,
Yeah.
on the side to my Giants love, but yeah, it's torn because I felt Bryce Young was the best quarterback. Carolina validated that for me, but then
Yeah.
also I feel like Carolina was the worst of the quarterback needy teams. But
That's a tough one, man.
it's
After
uh,
seeing their offensive, they ran the ball pretty well last year. That offensive line's pretty strong. I don't know. I don't think it was the worst one by far. I think they'll definitely do better than the Texans.
I I don't know. I don't know
It's
about
tough.
that. Texans might still be a sneaky secondary team for me though. I'm not as in love with CJ Stroud.
Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of CJ Stroud, number two, man, he didn't have to wait long to get his name called.
No, and
Uh,
I think this was a good kind of I feel like usually the whole pre-draft process kind of throws things through a loop, but like
yeah.
throughout the end of last season, it was pretty much Bryce Young one, C.J. Stroud two,
Yeah.
or flip them like throughout the whole process. So I'm kind of glad that throughout the pre-draft, like the waters weren't muddied to where those two weren't suddenly the two best QBs out of nowhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, now jury's still out on Alabama's quarterbacks. Obviously, Tua, pretty good, but Bryce Young, first one overall to go, first one overall.
Yeah.
So
First Alabama player ever to
yeah,
go number one overall. That was surprising to me. I
that
did
was
not see that.
it was Alabama, Ohio State, and then Alabama again. With a little less impactful as far as fantasy football, but Will Anderson.
Yeah. Unless you pick up the Texans defense.
Hey, look, they're trying to build something. They got a nice young quarterback, a nice young, defensive player to play linebacker and whatever they need him to do. So that was and I also appreciate Houston trading up to go get your guy. That is one thing in fantasy football. You go get your guy. It doesn't matter. Just go get your guy. So, yeah, good on him.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, I kind of like. I don't know. I think it's kind of bold for the Texans to assume that they would not regret trading their own first round pick, which is traditionally a top 10.
Yeah.
But hey, like I said before, even though Bryce Young's not going there, I have faith in DeMeco Ryan and the pieces that are around the team.
Yeah, DeMeco's a good coach, man. I think they got to give him some time though. They can't do a one and done. You got to give him give him 3 years.
I think with DeMeco's profile coming in, and kind of how the team seems to be fully investing in him. It's a nice story, like the former players coming back to the team to coach.
Right.
And yeah, you're getting a young QB along with your young edge rusher. So I mean, I think you have to keep him. But it's the Texans, so they could also throw that thing.
I'd like to see DeAndre Hopkins go back to the Texans. I think that would be kind of interesting. Go play with this young quarterback, give him a solid target. But speaking of not having solid targets, Anthony Richardson went 4th to the Colts.
Yeah.
This one, it kind of makes sense because obviously you have the coach who had Jalen Hurts, so he likes that style quarterback, which who doesn't? I mean, a big running quarter. I mean, come on, get out of here. But he could sit behind Gardner Minshew, for a couple weeks if he needs to, or the whole season, just however they feel it.
Yeah.
But I think it was a fine pick. What you think?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was fine too. I mean, I think at this point, and I'm sure we'll get into Malik Willis later. Anthony Richardson was the best quarterback available. Not a huge fan of the track star guys who shoot up the board. I don't really care that he can do a backflip.
Right.
Or that he has the longest broad jump of a QB.
Right.
It's neat. He's really, really raw. But I think like you were saying, it's the best situation with the new head coach coming in there after working with Jalen Hurts. So hopefully he can turn him around. Although, little side note in there, how much do you think this hurts Jonathan Taylor's stock?
So, I think it's going to actually help it a little bit. Not help it to where he's going to be, guaranteed number 1 overall. But when you have to start worrying about the quarterback running, it will open up holes. Now, at the goal line, it's going to vulture some away.
Yeah.
But I think in the open field, it'll give him more opportunity to break off those big runs. So I'm happy. I'm totally fine with it. When you know that they can do play action or, not play action, read option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to open up some lanes.
So here's my worry with that though, is that usually that read option is a little more deadly because you also fear the quarterback's arm and his ability to get out the pass. Now, if you have a primary running QB and a star running back, couldn't you just load up that box anyway?
Sure.
If you have no fear of Anthony Richardson's arm and you're And I think another issue for the Colts was their offensive line. And any QB, especially rookie QBs, you start tagging them a bit throughout the season, they're going to start getting jumpy.
So yes, now remember the year prior though.
Mm.
Colts had one of the best offensive line. So
Yeah.
and we were all projecting for the Colts to have another good offensive line last year, and it just didn't. I don't know, didn't happen.
Mm.
Don't know. It could be a fluke. I mean, we know how football is. All it takes is
Right.
something could have been on one guy's mind the whole year, and it threw off everybody. The thing I do like is Anthony Richardson isn't Bryce Young. He's going to be able to take some hits. I mean, 6'4", 244. You're talking Derrick Henry size.
Mm.
So I'm pretty sure I'm okay with him taking some hits and being like, okay, whatever. Yeah, eventually everybody's going to wear down. But
Right.
talking about stacking the box, okay, stack the box. Now, where are you stacking it? Are you going to go interior? You going to the left side? You're going to the strong side? Because wherever you're stacking, guess what? They're going the opposite way. Go ahead and stack the strong side. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to watch.
All right. So
All
yeah,
right.
who's next then? I think it's Seattle at 5.
So we had Seattle pick up a cornerback.
Devon Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, man, great pick. They're going for that Legion of Boom again, man.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about that. That was a good pick because look at the division they're in. You need defense. You got to stay in. I mean, well, Rams kind of trending down, but still have the 49ers to contend with. And if you have a solid cornerback, that helps. You don't like them? Uh-oh. I think Arnaldo might be muted. Yeah, we can't hear you, man. I think we just lost your voice. Well, while Arnaldo tries to figure this out, I won't go too in depth about Witherspoon, but look, man, 6 foot, 181 pounds. That man will not fear laying the boom. Yeah. It sure did. It sure did. Can you hear me, Arnaldo? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, he can't hear me. Okay. Let's see what's going on, guys. Apologize for the delay. This is odd. So what we're going to do is... Arnaldo, do you want to leave and then call me back, buddy? Call me back. There you go. No. Ladies and gentlemen, he's literally calling me. This is really funny. So, I don't know if he's going to understand to... All right, hey, Arnaldo, I was telling you to leave the session and then call me back on Teams. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, all right, perfect. All right, guys, we're going to have a little break here. So let's see if he can get back. We are back. Sorry about that. A little bit of computer issue because, we're poor. So it happens. We don't have a lot of fancy equipment. But anyway, I digress. Devon Witherspoon, physical cornerback, going to lay the boom on some people.
Oh yeah.
Cardinals, next up, offensive tackle. I feel like you kind of had to go offensive tackle.
Yeah, I mean, you already paid Kyler Murray. You're invested. And then apparently, I guess Kyler Murray was like petitioning for this guy.
Oh, interesting.
So apparently he was Kyler Murray's, pick as well.
Huh. Well, cool. I hope it works. I hope it works out then. If you know who you want, you got to get them.
No.
Go get your guy. So, next up we have the Raiders. Defensive end, Tyree Wilson. I like it. Get your defense. Again, look at the division you're in. You need someone to chase that quarterback. So, I respect it.
I was a little surprised it wasn't more like offensive line. And
Protect
then,
Jimmy.
yeah, protect Jimmy, protect, maybe future QB that goes there.
Yep.
But I guess it makes sense too. Chandler Jones is getting, older and didn't seem like he was playing up to his contract last season. So you get a nice young edge rusher to pair, hopefully, with Max Crosby for the future.
Yeah. Absolutely. Next up, we get to the consensus number one fantasy football
The golden child.
dynasty rookie, Bijan Robinson. He was drafted by, unfortunately for me and my Saints, the Atlanta Falcons. Sorry, Bijan. Listen to me, Bijan. You will have a tough time running at least 2 games every season. Now, with that said,
Oh.
I think this was a great pick by Atlanta. You have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, and then next year you'll have another top pick, and you'll get a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's going to be a deadly offense.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's like as terms as like a high-powered like offense, like if it were the Bills or the Cowboys or the Eagles, like that would have been awesome for him. But a team like Atlanta, while Atlanta's kind of bad, they run the ball a lot. So fantasy-wise, great landing spot.
Oh, yeah. And
Tyler,
he has a backup, so he doesn't, he can take breaks.
yeah,
They'll be okay with Tyler Algier, who is not gonna be my shark for next year because Bijan. In an earlier episode, I was talking about Tyler going bananas. Now he's gonna have plenty of time to just sit and eat bananas because that's what you
yeah.
do when you're on the sideline. Oranges.
Sad,
Bananas.
sad day for the Tyler Algier owners who feel like they got one over on everybody last year.
Oh yeah, that
Just
ain't
for
happening.
them to
That ain't happening.
come right around and be like, yeah, no more Tyler Algier for you.
That's a wrap. You might
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. But Philly picking
God,
up Jalen Carter.
I.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Daniel Jones.
Jesus Christ.
Next up, we have Tennessee with an offensive tackle, Darnell Wright.
Yeah.
Followed up by another offensive tackle, Peter Skoronski.
Yeah.
Going
I
to the
think that
Titans.
those flipped a little bit. The Chicago got Darnell.
Who did I
Yeah.
say?
Tennessee. But Tennessee came around and got Skoronski next.
Yeah. 2 good picks by both teams. I think that was a great move by Chicago. You
Yeah,
protect
you
your
gotta.
investment.
Yes, protect Justin Fields. That offensive line was atrocious.
Ugh.
Practically a crime to stick him behind it.
I mean, you could almost classify that as a hate crime because I'm sure Justin Fields hated it. I know. Tennessee, interesting pick, but not a bad pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for a thing like a player like Skoronski, like even though he's an offensive tackle, like they were showing he can, like he's played guard, so that
Yeah.
kind of, like, well, yeah, you want like that stalwart left tackle, right tackle, whatever. At the on the bright side, if like you stick him on left tackle and he's not working out, or you stick him at the right tackle, it's not working out, you can start, flipping him onto the inside. That way, it's not a complete wash of a pick.
Oh yeah, I mean it won't be a wash at all. You figure he can either compete with the free agent they signed for left tackle, or kick him in to play guard. So I think it's a great pick. I think he's going to be a very strong player for that team for many years.
That's
Now
fair.
this next pick, dude,
I,
Detroit.
I don't know.
Detroit at 12. At 12. Gibbs?
Maybe Gibbs. Yeah. I mean, I think Gibbs was like the number 2 running back for the
Okay.
class, but yeah, no. I mean, like even my take on this. I thought 8 for Bijan was high.
Absolutely.
'Cause I just thought we were all collectively realizing, hey,
No.
running back, not a great thing to like throw a pick in unless you're a ready to go team.
Look,
You
man.
know.
I,
But that being said, I have the 102, and I was dead set it's JSN.
the
But
draft capital for Jahmyr Gibbs.
yeah, draft capital,
That
set
matters.
DeAndre Swift immediately in day 3.
I mean,
It's a great offensive line.
yeah. I mean, Jesus, Swift is gone. Bye.
It's gonna be really hard for me to not say Gibbs is 102 right now. I think it also
I
depends on your team.
let me tell you, I wouldn't fault you for that. Because if I had the 103 and you skipped on Gibbs, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I mean, top 12 pick, you have to.
yeah,
You have
it's
to. BPA, man. BPA.
yep. You kind of just got to do it.
All right. Well, Green Bay did not go wide receiver with their first pick.
I really thought they were. I
I
thought they would have taken like Dalton Kincaid or Michael Mayer or some one of the.
didn't even go offense.
Nope.
Defensive end, Lucas Van Ness. Not a bad pick, don't get me wrong.
No, not at all.
Just, I guess, not what any of us were thinking. Almost said Georgia. Pittsburgh picked Georgia offensive tackle Broderick Jones. That's a no-brainer. No-brainer. You had.
Needed like crazy.
I think everyone knew that Pittsburgh was going to pick an offensive tackle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That offensive line last year was horrible.
We could have done a better job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think good news for maybe some Najee owners there.
I would say so. I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia is not. You know,
Yeah.
Georgia
Another-
plays talent, so
Yeah.
you got a
Another
good
fun
offensive tackle.
Another fun thing with this though was Pittsburgh jumping the Jets to get that offensive tackle too.
They knew. They knew.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%, yeah.
And speaking of the Jets, they went and grabbed a linebacker. So shore up that defense, man.
Yeah. I mean,
If you can give Rodgers and that offense more opportunities, I get it. I get it. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of pressure on that team.
they
this
might
year.
have won BPA at that point because I think they probably did have their eyes on Broderick Jones there. I feel like it can,
I don't know if they want BPA, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, maybe BPA for them.
Fair.
Like
Fair.
NFL, the teams, their draft board, is different, a lot different than some of the public ones we see, or even maybe what we think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. We got another cornerback from Washington, Manuel Forbes. Okay. Nothing
Honestly,
crazy, but, good pick.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go potentially Will Levis here. I didn't see the drop coming as hard as it did.
So, the only thing about this pick is this dude is 166 pounds. Bro.
Press coverage is gonna be
Okay.
hard.
Okay. I don't know. Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from Oregon, goes to the New England Patriots. At
Great.
least this
Great.
is the one I would
like-
rather.
Yes,
I would rather Gonzalez.
I thought this is who Detroit would have picked. Like, honestly, I think it was the best option. Like,
Thanks for
maybe
giving
those-
Belichick another great player with the 17th pick that shouldn't have been there. Good job, guys. 6'1", 197 pounds. That's a big boy. No, let's. Oh my God, guys, come on,
Yep.
do better. Back to Detroit. Inside linebacker Jack Campbell. 6'5", 249. It's a big boy. He's a big boy.
not.
I mean, he matches up good with tight ends. I was watching some film, so I think this could be a very sleeperish type first round pick.
Yeah.
We'll see though. We'll see. Another defensive player, defensive tackle, Mr. Callie Cansey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
6'1", 281, goes to Tampa Bay.
Coming down to the Bay.
Now we get back to some more offense, and we go on a little run.
Oh my God! This run.
Seattle takes Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. Used to be Arnaldo's pure, just clear cut number 2 pick for his dynasty team anyway.
Hurts my heart.
So now he's going to be competing with targets. And Geno Smith might not be there next year. Yeah, I know he just signed, but that doesn't mean anything, guys. So,
I mean, so I like Seattle's draft, especially in the first round. In my eyes, Okay, so I liked Christian Gonzalez over Witherspoon, but a lot of people had Witherspoon as the number 1 corner. So I mean, if you look at it, they got the number 1 corner and the number 1 wide receiver.
Oh.
For their team, and then on top of that, I don't think Tyler. You said Geno Smith might not be there in a year. I think Tyler Lockett could be out.
Oh, did you see the money they save if they cut him next year?
No, how much?
It's something incredible.
He's gone,
dude.
But
yeah.
So I think we're talking dynasty. I think this year the numbers are going to look a little lean for JSN, but I think come next year you got DK obviously being the number 1. You got JSN working the underneath routes, racking up those catches. I think he'd work really well with Geno too. If Geno stays, and then whoever else comes in, Geno leaves. It's a great talent.
And let's not forget about all the running backs they have. So,
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that one, but hey, look, you're in Seattle. He's going to do fine. He's going to do fine. Next up, we have one that I do like, Quentin Johnson, going to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think it was a great pick. Surprising pick.
Made a ton of sense, I think.
Surprising a little bit, though. I figured they'd want maybe a smaller guy. But when I think about it, you're going to be getting rid of Mike Williams. Keenan Allen's going to eventually be going. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I think, like you were saying, like Mike Williams, I think he just signed a contract. And he's like, every other game. I feel like Mike Williams is out. Keenan Allen's getting up there. He's dealing with his own injuries. So, yeah, I think a wide receiver made perfect sense here, especially a big-bodied receiver like Quentin Johnston. Going to that offense with Kellen Moore, and you got Justin Herbert throwing to you. It's pretty nice. Now, I'm going to be honest. When we get to my Giants in, a couple picks, but about pick 19, I was punching the couch saying trade up because all the wide receivers are about to go. I really wanted Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
But no.
No.
Broke my heart.
So, yeah, their potential out is after the 23 season. And it looks like... Oh, yeah, it would be, if they kept them on the roster, we're talking a $23.95 million cap hit.
This is for Mike Williams?
This is for Tyler Lockett.
Oh, Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey,
so, yeah, they're not going to be paying that for a 32-year-old wide receiver. So, Zay Flowers, Lamar, add to the weapons. To the weapons.
Yeah, fantasy-wise, I'm not a huge fan of Zay Flowers.
No, not in this landing spot.
Real football though, kind of a fan of this. I think it works out great. And I think as far as the team, you're showing Lamar you want him, and you're with just the contract extension alone, but getting him Odell, going out in the first round and getting him another wide receiver. I think that
The
I think it was
commitment.
good move for the team.
Yeah, the commitment's real. The commitment is real. Now, off to Minnesota. Jordan Addison. Think it was a great
I
pick.
really thought they were not going to take him.
Great
I thought
pick.
they were going to take the guy who goes in the next pick. I
Mm.
really thought we somehow survived the run of wide receivers to get Jordan Addison.
Look,
But no.
man, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, they're set. They're good. Just gotta get a quarterback now. But yeah, all right. Deontay Banks goes to your New York Giants cornerback.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm happy. I think he's a good corner.
No, he is. He is.
And cornerback, wide receiver, center were our three biggest needs. We hit them all in the three rounds.
Give your offense opportunity to score. That's what that is.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah. This next one was a little surprising for me. Dalton Kincaid to Buffalo.
I liked it.
No, I love it. I do love it. But I don't know.
I also love them jumping Dallas to go get him. See, I think that's where he was about to go.
Yeah.
And the Bills went ahead and jumped them.
I mean, I get it though. Good on him. Hey, going to a high-powered offense.
I usually would not draft a tight end.
Not in the first. Not in the first round.
Not at first, unless the name is Kyle Pitts.
And even then, let me tell you something. For the right price, Kyle Pitts would be very much gone off my fantasy roster. So, and I will be possibly trying to move him to move up, along with a higher draft pick and maybe just something else.
Yeah.
So,
well, hit me up. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we got all day to talk about it.
But yeah.
So
I like the spot.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys went defensive tackle. Makes sense. Got to get that defense right. If they want to run and play defense, play old school ball, okay, that's the way you got to do it. Jaguars went where I think everybody kind of had an idea they would go, offensive tackle. I mean, I like it as a ETN owner. Big 6'4", 315-pound beast from Oklahoma. Yeah. Anton Harrison. Good job, buddy. Mazzie Smith was the defensive tackle to the Cowboys. Forgot we didn't mention his name.
Oh, yeah.
So, talking about a defense, Miles Murphy goes to Cincinnati. This is a big boy. 6'5", 268. Look, man, this guy will be sacking people from the defensive line position, just reaching his hands out. I mean, this is, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Yeah, we won't spend too much time. My Saints, they traded down, which they never do, and I loved it. But they did pick up Brian Breesy, 6'6", 298 from Clemson, defensive tackle. Now, I've been watching this kid since he got out of high school. I saw him at a couple, all-star high school games and so on and so on. I like it. I think they're done. I really hope they're done signing defensive tackles. I'm pretty sure we have I think on the Saints roster we might have 37 defensive tackles right now. So, kind of like y'all have all the slot receivers, we have all the defensive tackles.
You might want to check that number, though, because I was looking at undrafted free agent signings this morning, and you guys have
Yeah, we grabbed a couple more. Yeah. We also grabbed the quarterback, so, but that's later in the rounds. We'll see. Here's hoping, Nolan Smith drops to number 30, and Philadelphia gets him. So good job, NFL, for letting Philadelphia get Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter.
Yeah, congratulations to Georgia for setting up their satellite campus in Philadelphia.
Yes,
that's great. That's phenomenal. That's what I love to see. as a Giants fan. That's great.
What did they? I just saw a meme. It said Philly's defense is basically Georgia, and then their offense was it
Oh,
like
Alabama.
Alabama? Yeah,
Yeah, the defense was like the national championship winning Georgia defense, and their offense is the national championship winning
that's it. Yeah,
Alabama offense. Yeah,
offense
that's
from
a great.
Alabama, defense from Georgia. Good job, NFL.
Love it.
You're killing
I,
it, guys. Now, last guy in the first round, Kansas State defensive end, which was very much needed by the Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Felix Uzama. I'm gonna go with your last name, buddy. I don't want to destroy it. Out of respect to you, a new Dyke. I apologize if I butchered it. I know how it feels having a last name most people can't spell or say or anything. So, but
Dustin can't even spell it, and it's his own name.
yeah, he still has to write it on his hand. So now we can go one of two ways, man. We can talk about. I say we switch on over and just go to the rookies that matter to us for fantasy. Maybe just kind of go through some of these guys, and where do you have some of these rookies, man?
As far as from round 2, or are we saying?
Let's just we'll skip over.
Okay.
You know, obviously we know we got some interesting picks here. Jahmyr Gibbs going to Detroit. You know, Zach Charbonnet going to Seattle. What the hell, Seattle? You just ruined Charbonnet for me, and I.
Yeah, man, that was I didn't get it either, because I mean they just drafted Kenneth Walker in the second round too. I mean, I think an important saying that always rings true is that the NFL does not give a damn about your fantasy team.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
They do not. They
No,
do not. They
I
don't
get
care
it.
that you got Kenneth Walker with the 102 last year, and that you were riding high to go off of Kenneth Walker. They don't care that Zach Charbonnet was, your future pickup this year that you had high hopes for.
High hopes shattered.
It is rough. I mean, but I think I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. I wonder if it's just gonna be a 50-50 backfield split between those two. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, jumps up to my 102 right now.
Man, look, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be pushing to get that 103. And if you don't take him, I'm taking him, because I need a running back. I need good running backs, and I will 100% not hesitate to grab Gibbs.
Yeah, I need good running backs. I need some young running backs.
Saquon
Barkley. Yeah,
Charbonnet, you destroyed that for me. The only other thing I can think of, so Devon A-Chain going to Miami could be interesting.
I'm fantasy-wise not a fan of that.
Definitely not the first year. There's a lot to.
Yeah, I don't see Miami as being a team, like, unless they go out at some point and somehow end up with like some stud running back, like some big name, the same way San Fran went and got C-Mac. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like Miami, starting a running back for Miami is going to be like all those years you were looking at New England's running back roster and picking a random name and hoping that was the one.
Yeah.
That went off, and I think it's going to be the same thing for Miami.
Yeah, no, I mean you hit it on the head with that one, buddy. I think I have to agree with you. Until we can see that a single running back can be trusted there, it's kind of stay away.
Yeah, and I think even then, like a running back's going to have to do some crazy amount of production in there, and they have to do a few touches because they're going to be cycling that rock around.
Absolutely. Keandre Miller, running back, goes to New Orleans. I really don't care. He's got a lot to show me. He's an upright runner, man. He can, catch the dump off passes, but he's not Alvin Kamara. So we'll see. Michael Mayer, another tight end, Las Vegas.
Yes, I think that's good. Replacing Darren Waller, who into the
Absolutely.
Giants.
Absolutely. Garoppolo, he likes to throw to the tight end.
Yep.
So that could
Yep.
be a good one. Again, they got him ranked at 14 off of Fantasy Pros. I think that's okay. Definitely not a first round, like we talked about before. I'm done taking tight ends in the first round.
Oh yeah. No, you can't really.
Yeah, Marvin Mims goes to Denver. Now he's stuck behind Jerry Judy. I mean, they just
So,
got Adam Troutman just got traded. So I don't know. There's a lot of talent and no quarterback.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. And then so looking at the wide receivers there, I think JSN is for me still number one. But then I think you have to look at Quentin Johnston and Jordan Addison and decide which one's
Absolutely.
number two.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something. If I could get either one of those where I'm drafting, which is 11, I would have no issues just staying there and just okay. But that's not going to happen. So I'm going to have to move up. And depending on who you draft, if you take Gibbs, I'm probably going to go with Quentin Johnston, actually.
Really? Not JSN?
Not JSN. I don't know. That's tough, man. I'd hate for him to have to start a new quarterback, in a year or two. It's just, I don't like it. But you know what they say, talent beats out opportunity. So that would be a tough one. You would screw me up with Gibbs if I was at 3. That's for damn sure. Will Levis, we haven't talked about him. Titans. Okay, so Malik Davis is done, I guess.
Willis.
Yeah, Malik Davis. Malik Willis. Excuse me. I guess he's done.
I mean, I wouldn't be. I don't know. So you know, because I've said like how every year there's that one quarterback that for no discernible reason whatsoever, Mel Kiper and whoever else just hypes him up to the moon.
Yep.
And in a way, I'm happy that it didn't work this year. But then, the soft human part of me can also empathize with the fact that this guy had to sit there, kind of like Aaron Rodgers, and just have the cameras continually pan over to him. With him just sitting there, trying to like fake a smile through all of it.
Yeah.
Watching all those picks go.
So you gonna pick him up?
Hell no. Honestly, I don't know what Tennessee's plan is with this. Like, if they're gonna have Will Levis and Malik Willis just battle it out, see who's gonna be the starting quarterback.
I almost feel like they have to.
Yeah, I know
second-round pick.
Yeah, but Malik Willis was like a third round pick. It's like, and yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sold on Will Levis at all. So I don't know. If we were talking fantasy football, obviously I picked Malik Willis just because of the rushing upside.
Absolutely.
But they want to play real football over there. I don't know. I don't know how this thing shakes out.
Why do they want to do that?
So boring.
That's weird. That's so weird.
Put prayer up for Derrick Henry, whose prime is quickly slipping away.
More than likely slipping away. We don't know for sure. He, could be just like Tom Brady, where he just keeps going and going and going. Yeah. No, trust me, I get it. When it comes to that, it's like, okay. Any other rookies really catching your eye?
Nah, not a whole lot. Honestly, I don't know. This year it feels weird. It feels like there was more talent this year, but like at the same time, it feels like I don't know. Like I think just landing spots really messed up a lot of this.
Yeah. I do want to say Deuce Vaughn from, what was it, Kansas State?
I think
Yeah,
so.
Kansas State.
Mhm.
His father got to call him.
Oh yeah.
His father is a scout for the Dallas Cowboys, and he got to basically say, "Hey, son, do you want to come to work with me next week?" So that was really cool. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen that video, it was a touching moment. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah.
So, um,
Rare Cowboys W. Yeah.
yeah, Roshan Johnson to Chicago. I think it was a good pick.
Mhm.
Tank Bigsby to Jacksonville. I don't. People were talking about being worried. Some people weren't. I'm not worried about Tank. I'm sorry.
Not.
No. Not as long as Trevor Lawrence is there.
I think in the sense of I don't think Travis Etienne's ever going to be a three down bell cow running back.
Yeah, no, he's. I mean,
And
he's
then
not.
yeah, no, he doesn't have the size or the build for it. So I could see Tank Bigsby being that guy who comes in to spell him from time to time. I think the worry would be is if Tank Bigsby develops into like that goal line running back,
Gotcha.
starts vulturing off those goal line touchdowns. I think is when some concern comes in for Travis Etienne. But I think with that you just gotta wait and see.
That's
See
it.
how
Wait and
it
see.
plays out. Maybe if you can, not, throw a third round pick or pick him up undrafted and you have ETN, it wouldn't be a bad handcuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, if I can grab him and throw him on the taxi squad, then yeah, of course, whatever. But I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, I'm trying to make a little trade right now for the number 3 overall pick.
How'd you feel about Hendon Hooker to Detroit?
That one is interesting. That makes me feel that they are definitely going to be coming off of Goff a lot faster than people realize.
I mean, I don't know, a third round QB.
Who's already 20 or 47 years old? I mean, come on.
That's
I mean, that's also like Stetson Bennett to the Rams.
yeah, that was.
I mean, he's the same age as Matthew Stafford, so. No, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I think everyone thought Hooker might be going to Tennessee, so that was definitely a little bit different. So the Saints, I said they got a quarterback, got Jake Hayner.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly. He'll be a new one. He's out of Fresno State, so he's gonna. I don't know. He's gonna be the backup to Derek Carr.
No.
So that you say he brings a little bit of everything as a passer, and he could actually be the successor to Derek Carr is what they're talking. So that's interesting. I'll have to do a little more review on him. But we'll see about all that.
On cap.
All that. So wide receiver wise, Jalen Hyatt. We didn't talk about him going to your Giants. How do you feel about that?
I mean, from a football perspective, I think it's good. I think you could probably view him as Darius Slayton's eventual replacement, like a high speed guy.
Yeah, a little speed demon, man.
Look, I mean, the Giants wide receivers it's better than last year. Last year it was practice squad guys and borderline, about to be cut guys. Now it's a bunch of, 3 wide receiver 3s and a couple 2s, which is an upgrade.
I mean, look, he's quick, man. He's quick.
Yeah.
6 foot, 178.
Fantasy wise, not expecting too much out of Jalen Hyatt.
Okay.
Going forward. But for actual football wise, stretching out the offense and being that vertical threat. I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
Would have been better if we got Jordan Addison. Yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest. If Giants had gotten Jordan Addison, I could have taken him with the 102. Who knows?
Wow.
Probably not. I probably would have traded back and then tried to take him. But I mean, broke my heart.
Okay. I know. I understand. I understand. But yeah, so we got, ladies and gentlemen, we have a rookie draft coming next week. It is, I can actually give you an exact. So we are 5 days, 23 hours, 18 minutes, and 25 seconds away at this point. Pending, we don't have to maybe throw it back an hour or so, but or earlier. But we're doing it on Saturday. It's happening, and we'll see what happens. That gives us, like I said, just under 6 days to make some moves if, people need to make moves. So before we go, is there anything else you would like to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Too easy. Now that we know where people have landed, maybe next week would be a good time for another rookie mock draft.
Ooh.
Psych, that's going to be the real draft. It is going to be the real real rookie draft. So, I hope everyone's ready for that one. I hope you're ready. You got a big decision to make, so I'm sure you'll be dwelling on that one all week.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it'll be hard, but that's half the fun. That's half the fun. Well, I think that just about does it for us tonight, guys. I want to thank everyone for coming. Thank you all for paying attention. Thank you all for listening. Like, subscribe, share, all the things. We really appreciate it. We love to see the views. We're here for y'all. We're here for us. We just want to talk football, and we hope you enjoy it, whether you think we're silly, whether you think we're right. Isn't that right?
I'm right.
He's right. Always. I just say silly things. So, as you can see behind me, I am in the middle of nowhere, so I got to start walking home. Hopefully I can get home before the draft. So, until next time, guys, thank you. See ya.
Peace.
Don't be scared.